Whoa! Welcome one and all to Puppet History! Today we'll be taking an ever-winding look at yet another chapter in the heavy book we call history, while our guests ruthlessly compete for the coveted capsules and title of History Wizard. I'm your beloved host, the Professor. Special guest Brennan Lee Mulligan. Are you ready?
I am ready, and thank you for having me, Professor.
It's a pleasure to have you. Well, it sounds like we're ready to crack in. You ever take any fashion risks right after Labor Day? Maybe a plunging neckline or a tight pair of shorts?
No.
We're gonna be talking about the Straw Hat Riots. Have you heard of these?
Oh, I believe the name is familiar, but I don't know them. I haven't read about them.
Just shaking a little tambourine?
No, not
up in
even
that
a little
noodle
bit.
of yours?
Not even a little bit.
No,
I've
nothing?
never heard of these once.
I've heard of the Zoot Suit Riots.
Whoa, those must have been something. Brennan just locked in. Look at him go. I love to see it.
I'm so competitive that occasionally I make bad television.
Oh.
Pure silence. I'm done.
Oh my God.
You were goofing. I was winning.
Well, I was trying to figure out what the lies were.
You know, I already respect the guy. I'm giving him a jelly bean just for his tenacity. Let's give him a jelly bean over there. Yeah.
Yes! I love the pride jelly beans on the mug. That's so nice.
Yeah, you know,
Lovely.
plenty of jelly beans to go around.
I've drawn a straw hat with
Yeah.
the caption, "This but strange."
You ever seen somebody wear something that was so off-putting that you actually did get upset?
I'm from New York, and there's a guy who walks around with a cat on his head, and that's your training for don't worry about what other people are doing. Head down, face forward, keep moving.
Did he have a hat on his head too?
He did. He's sort of a notorious jerk. He had the backwards baseball cap, cat on his head, and tourists would be like, "Oh my God, this fella has a cat on his head," and he'd
Don't
be
do
like,
it.
"If you take a picture, that's $40."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he would just scam people. in
So
Times
he's
Square.
baiting you. He's baiting
he's
you
baiting, and
with
you're
his
like-
cat and his hat.
You're like, "Man, I didn't make you put a cat on your head. You put a cat on your head. People are going to take pictures, you know?"
You beat the shit out of this guy?
And we jumped and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. Brian and I deal with this all the time when we walk around Los Angeles.
With your tall silk hats?
Oh, well, no, I sit on Ryan's head, and people try to take pictures of us, and we spit on them.
Yes, we do.
I mean,
we
I
give
do,
them the
'cause-
business.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. As someone who worked with a lot of kids who LARPed
Yeah.
and would dress up like that, they'd be like, "I had Indiana Jones's fedora," and I'm like, "Right, but the fedora looks cool because Indiana Jones is running away from a boulder.
Yeah.
You're playing Magic the Gathering at a table covered in peanut butter and jelly stains.
Yeah. And you got to get out there and get dirty with some boulders, you know?
Get some boulders.
Get some boulders in you.
I feel like you two are about to beat the shit out of
We're
me.
not gonna do that, but
3.
not yet.
Oh no!
I like the way it makes my little face look.
We don't wear hats.
No hats allowed.
Illegal.
Too many incidents.
All right, children, it's getting close to bedtime. Let's all take a half hour to admire Father's hat.
Look,
Gather around the table.
what's going on with that Pope hat?
I don't know. It's pretty funny though, isn't it?
I know. Is that called a mitre?
A miter.
Yeah.
How'd you know that off the
A
hip?
jelly bean for Brennan.
Yes, we're up to 3.
Unbelievable. People don't really like crowns nowadays.
A BK crown?
Burger King crown.
Yeah.
You're right.
Everyone's a king at the BK.
That is true.
I have a crown back here.
Oh. Nice.
That's a hat for your teeth.
You're right. You're right. A jelly bean for Brennan.
This guy's fucking racking them in.
You both seem pretty cool.
Okay, thank you.
Huge for me. Thank
So
you.
this should be pretty easy. Hey, what do you got?
This is going strictly off logic. Something had to happen on this day for me to forget about Straw Hat Day, so I went with 9/11.
Oh, God.
Now, that's only because
I'm from New York.
I'm from New York. 9/11.
I'm from New
I'm
York.
from New York. From New York.
I went for around what time would people typically wear straw hats?
Right.
I said May 27th,
okay.
but, yeah, you know, I could be wrong.
I even gave you a 2-week window, and you got in that 2-week window, brother.
Are you
For real?
Yes,
Are
you
you
did.
fucking kidding?
Yes, you did.
That's unbelievable. This is collusion. They clearly.
It's not collusion.
It's
He's just a
collusion. You
smart
guys
guy.
fucking figured it out
Just
before the
get
shit.
on his wavelength, man.
Get on my level.
You're just not ready for the truth.
Well, that's going to be a point for Brennan. Unbelievable. So
The stockbrokers, you said they would horse around?
you're horse around.
That's really alarming. I just think the idea of stockbrokers giggling and running after each other on Wall Street.
You get sort of Clockwork Orange vibes from that.
Yeah, I was gonna say my idea of a stockbroker horsing around background is more like Patrick Bateman, like running naked through a hallway with a chainsaw.
Sure. Plastic up on the walls. Yeah.
Hootie and the Blowfish in the background or some shit like that.
Hootie? I don't think he ever blasted Hootie, but I'd love to see that
I'd love
cut.
to see that, dude. He was a Huey Lewis and the News guy, but Hootie, no, that would be a good.
I have to say, if I'm gonna be serial killed, I really don't want Huey Lewis and the News playing.
What's the best song to be serial killed to?
Something scary,
The Tarzan soundtrack?
just so that there's not cognitive dissonance.
What about the Tarzan soundtrack?
Phil
Not
Collins?
Phil Collins. Ever have, like, when you were a kid, the first time you saw the no shirt, no shoes, no service, were you the kind of kids that went like, what about pants?
Yeah. No. They don't let me into most restaurants on account of
Well,
my little butt cheeks hanging out.
So,
You got questions?
yeah, follow up.
Yeah.
In canon, which of course I refer to the real world as canon.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
In canon, you have legs, a butt cheeks. Oh my God, great. And then everything downstairs is 1-to-1 with human anatomy.
I wouldn't say 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Do you know what a cloaca is?
Do you have more history facts, or should we
Yeah,
keep
why
going?
don't we move on to that?
Great,
Yeah.
wonderful. Just a bunch of sober, hungover guys, bloodshot eyes. What if we all stole each other's hats? That was Bo Brummel.
His name was Beau Brummel.
Bo Brummel, he's the founder of the dandy movement, right? Bo
Is he
Brummel
really?
is the dandy, the first dandy.
What is the dandy movement?
He's a dandy.
We've got to.
I don't know. You the fucking history podcast.
I don't know what that means.
He's a dandy. Well, there were the fops that were before, and then Bo
fops,
Brummel
the
was a
dandies.
dandy, and he revolutionized men's fashion because he was kind of loose, and he showed his calves to anybody who'd look.
Whoa.
But if you say something's the start of the dandy movement, you wouldn't expect you to be stumped by what was the dandy movement.
Man, I only know like one thing about a lot of things.
You can shave me.
I can't come to another studio and hear you can shave me. We fuck around with each other and we punch each other's straw hats and smash them. But then it like breached containment.
Right.
And then people were like, this is the day that society allows me to grab strangers' hats.
Right.
And of course you have people that take the game too far.
Yeah.
And then I have that on St. Patrick's Day where it's like, someone will come up to you and be like, uh-oh, you're not wearing green. Punch in the arm.
Yeah.
And
Nasty.
you're like, punch me in the arm and find out what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this game.
I mean, what would you do if someone took your hat off your head, threw it on the ground, started stomping on it, and started laughing in your face?
I'm seeing the rage in his eyes even as you're describing this.
You know, I was one of those. So here's the thing, right? I was a big dork growing up. I was a big old fucking nerd. And as I got into my teenage years and started to like actually make friends and be in community, there were things that like bro-y people did
Yeah.
that really didn't jive. 'Cause if you miss it in middle school, it doesn't get in your bloodstream, it doesn't set in your bones.
Yeah.
So I remember being like 16 or 17 and a kid ran up to me and was like, slap fight, and slapped me in the face. And I punched him so hard in the head.
Good.
And everyone was like, that's not what we're doing. And I'm like, we either live in a society or we don't. It is either tea time and blankets and wind in the willows and we're having a picnic, or fucking don't go to sleep. Watch your back. I can't do.
You're locked in here with me.
I can't do like slight barbarism.
No.
It's got to be. We're all in or we're all out.
That's why rules are important.
Rules. We love rules.
Yeah.
Just picturing some like early 20th century reporter who's like, orgy of applause at last night's opera. And you're like, Craig, you're using the word orgy a lot in these headlines.
Peter Hatting.
Peter what?
Peter Hatting.
Peter Hatting.
H-A-T-T.
This guy's not going to take hat destruction lightly.
Not in his fucking watch.
Absolutely not.
I have nothing else. I work in a factory. I don't see the sun. God help me, I will smash a hat today. Like the modern hyper-militarized police that we have today, the idea of someone in full SWAT gear, massive tower shields, and like a little barbershop quartet straw hat is just a fun visual. If the parents say no, is he like, all right, now you're all getting spanked.
Now I'm gonna spank you.
Now I'm gonna spank the whole family. Probably have like a hat trap, right? Like have a straw hat, metal band under it, spikes going up.
Exactly.
Before it comes down. God! You
Yeah.
know, a bunch of stockbrokers going to the hospital, and some guy looks at a camera and is like, thanks to my Flenderson hat trap. A, fashion is a fickle mistress. One of the most stressful moments of my life was being on an episode of Breaking News and just being asked to name 5 trends. Just any trends, just trends. My only experience in life is doing deeply uncool things, and then every once in a while, those deeply uncool things will become wildly popular 20 years after I started doing them.
Broken clock, right twice a day.
Yes, I very much submit to the broken clock strategy.
Will I do my best to give a guy a snazzy sense of class?
Those boys really rock my shit.
Okay. Bravo! Why do eyes on a hat make me feel totally fine, and then teeth on a hat make me feel really viscerally upset?
That was a strange performance for me all around. I have to say, and I don't know why it hit me so hard.
You know what that hat really reminded me of? The cars from the final musical number of The Brave Little Toaster.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, big Brave Little Toaster vibes from that guy.
You're worthless. Cars are really fucked up. They're very depressed.
According to our simple tally, Brennan Lee Mulligan is today's winner.
Thank you very much. An honor and a privilege to be able to compete.
But that's going to do it for this one. Brennan, thank you so much for joining us. Ryan, thanks for being a friend. And to everyone at home, thanks for watching Puppet History, where the details are always quite fuzzy. We'll see you next time. Whoa. There we go. Whoa.
Ingredients. Lorem ipsum dolores.